Where did it go?
I'm sticking it on the side.
I wouldn't say
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, the revolution, those were the real contributions.
Hello, Stephen.
That's why the song was
Shabbat Shalom. And to those of you observing 8 days of Pesach, I can wish you a Chag Sameach once again. To those of you who observed 7 days, welcome back to the world of leavened products. And I hope your digestive system appreciates it either way. So, I hope you had a good week, and I hope that you were able to focus on some of the themes of Pesach and how profound they are, and our story of redemption, our story of leaving oppression and finding our way towards freedom, and that it can be that important reminder that we have that responsibility to do it for others as well. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more throughout our service tonight. Let's now turn to the lighting and blessing of our Shabbat candles, and I'm so honored to invite Beth and Jeff Brewer to help us out. And now let's turn to page 138 for Lecha Dodi. And now let's still remain standing and turn together to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Let's read together on the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Bye.
154. This period between the holiday of Pesach and the holiday of Shavuot has a special name. It's a week of weeks. It's 49 days, and it's called the Omer. And it's traditional that each day of these 49 are explicitly counted. That we are supposed to note each and every single day between the second day of Passover and then the holiday of Shavuot. There's a wonderful book that came out called Omer Accounting. And there are many different books that take you through the 49 days and give you different kavanot, different intentions, different readings. This one happens to be by Rabbi Karen Kedar and just came out within the last year. And on the theme of redemption, which is the next prayer in our service, I wanted to share with you one reading before we turn to Bichamocha. Slavery. The story of the Exodus from Egypt is universal, and it is epic, and it is an archetype that spans across the centuries. It is a deeply personal story. The children of Israel stand at the edge of the wilderness and beckon us to become a part of a mixed multitude marching toward freedom. Their march, their courage, and their doubt touch our well-protected self, which tugs and pokes around our soul. So much enslaves us. We are enslaved by our assumptions of what is possible. We are enslaved by the words we use, the constructs of our thoughts and speech, the way we explain the past and speak about the future. We are enslaved by our presumed limitations. We are enslaved by negativity and cynicism. We are enslaved by our fear. Escape is lifelong, complicated, thrilling. It is the substance of growth and self-actualization. We venture forth if we decide to. Though we are not alone, our journey is solitary. And here is an undeniable truth. We will not change until we want to change. place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Adonai.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מורי הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממיד ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, למען אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים כל יום יעלו בסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Good Shabbos. And thank you for being here tonight. This song tonight, this Oseh Shalom, felt particularly poignant as we turn to offer prayers for not just people in our community and people in our families who are ill, but also people all over the world who are suffering. And I know my heart is with all those recovering from the terrible, horrific terrorist attacks in Sri Lanka. And we pray for the healing of all the brokenhearted there as well. And we pray for peace, we pray for peacefulness, we pray for the ability and the safety to pray as we wish to pray in our houses of worship, and that we all truly find a sense of sanctuary wherever that may be for us. And so let's join our hearts and our prayers together for all those who are in pain tonight, all those who are ill, all those who are suffering or struggling. Let's send them our love, our hope, and our comfort. Tonight, our community of CBSRZ is especially sending its healing prayers to Reagan Konecki, John DiNicola, Nancy Schwam, Miriam Swidler, Larry Mancini, Charles Sabat, Burl Bellows, Terry Bellows, Cindy Rashal, Dovie Bill Mayer, Arthur Myers, Iris Clark, Stacy Reed, Debbie Clymer, Nan Kraszewski, Daphne Rosenberg, Heather Waters, Joyce Giuseppe, Eliana Ben-Sarah, Savannah Johnson, Ronnie Burson-Weiner, Lenore Lesser. Who else are you thinking about tonight and whose name you'd like to share aloud?
Ellie Brett.
Michael Jones.
Yishabera Chavotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah v'Rachel v'Yivarech v'Yirapeh et kol hacholim ha'ela. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel bless and heal all those who are ill tonight, all those who are in pain, all those who are suffering. We pray, God, that they soon experience healing of mind, of body, of spirit, and that they return to that sense of wholeness and peacefulness for which they long. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh cholim. We praise you, God, who cares about the sick. And let's say together, Amen. Let's turn to page 371 and sing together. We also have people in our lives who have healed, who are well on the road to recovery, who are healing from injury, an operation, an illness, those who have traveled far away and have come back home safely, and those who have escaped danger in any way. So on behalf of all of those people around the world who have experienced those incredible gifts, which we never ever take for granted, we praise you, God, who makes good things happen in the world around us. And let us say together, Amen. And we have smachot, happy occasions to celebrate, thank goodness, together as well. And so who has something to celebrate that they'd like to share? Birthday, anniversary, something significant in your life? You're pointing at Neil. Neil, what you got?
Sunday.
Mazel tov.
Monday. Yeah,
Oh, so not Sunday, Monday. Yom Haledet Sameach.
my brother.
And many, many more in good health. Who else? Yes.
I just want to say thank you to people, Beth, she knows what. But I'd like to say thank you to Alan, who has pretty much helped us and filled up a whole dumpster all on her own, because I've been incapacitated. I hurt myself the first day we started the pack, and I'm feeling better because tomorrow's the last day, so. So Alex, and she helped me with my backbone.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. And we wish you both so much continued luck and strength as you continue your moving process, luckily not too far away. And mazel tov to others of you who have moved recently. We wish you nothing but joy and gladness in your new home. Anyone else? Seth and I celebrate our anniversary on Sunday, so that's exciting. We're looking forward to that. Thank you all. What?
How many years?
Oh, 6. Doesn't sound like much. Yeah. But 6. We still feel like it. God willing. Well, thank you. So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, it is traditional to count the Omer. We're going to do this before we then turn to our Yizkor memorial service. You may recall as well that there are 4 times a year that we observe Yizkor, a public communal memorial service. Yom Kippur, of course, is the most well-known, but then it's also the Shalosh Regalim, the 3 pilgrimage holidays of Sukkot, and then Pesach, and then Shavuot. So in just a few moments, we will be transitioning to our memorial service. But first, we count the Omer together during the services. Go ahead and turn to page 570 in your prayer book. And what Rabbi Karen Kedar does in this wonderful book of Omer accounting, which by the way also has, I think, a little flip book you can use so that you can have it out on your table and every day flip to the next day and have the intention. And there's even cards so you can flip through them. It's really wonderful. And I'm not a paid spokesperson, I just happen to really enjoy it. What she's done is given each week of the 7 weeks a different intention, a different direction that we can consider, and she offers readings every single day. The first week, which we conclude tonight, is given the theme of decide. And I love that because if you think about the fact that these 7 weeks represent a journey towards freedom, towards revelation at Mount Sinai for the Israelite people, there's a decision that has to happen to embark on that journey, right? To move towards freedom, to move out of whatever enslaves us. So the first week is decide. So I share with you a reading called Decide. Today I decide to turn my eyes toward wonder so that I may see the expanse before me. Today I decide to see the possibility of my life so that I may open my mind to greatness. Today I will do one kindness so that my heart may become more loving. Today I will pause to consider so that my life may become more deliberate. Help me, dear God, to step firmly upon a path of consequence so that I may make my life a prayer of goodness and mercy, splendor and light. I ask for a life of meaning, a sense of purpose. Today I decide. So I'll invite you all to please rise, if you are able, for page 570. הנני מוכן וזומן לקיים מצוות עשה של ספירת העומר. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Let's recite the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom Shiv'a Yamim Shehem Shavua Echad LaOmer. Today is the seventh day, that is 1 week of the counting of the Omer. Amen. You may be seated. So luckily, Cantor Belinda just noticed that if you have the only Shabbat book, the book that only is the Shabbat thinner version, you will not have the next section of Yizkor. So please take a second to grab to grab the full edition, one that does not specifically say Shabbat on the spine. Thank you, Cantor Belinda. That's probably just about everybody. Anybody else need one? Brad has a whole pile. Brad has a pile. Do you need one?
I guess. Helpful one for you.
It's a good little stretch. Let's turn together to page 578. Shiviti Adonai V'negdi Tami Kinini Emot Lachem Samach Libi Vayager Kavodi As Besari Yizkor destination. And life is a journey, from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength, or strength to weakness, and often back again, from health to sickness, and back we pray to health again, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion and grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not in some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination. But life is a journey, from birth to death to life everlasting. Page 576. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me to straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forevermore. And on 578, I am ever mindful of Adonai's presence. God is at my right hand. I shall never be shaken. So my heart rejoices, my whole being exults, and my body rests secure. For you will not abandon me to Sheol, or let your faithful one see the pit. You will teach me the path of life. In your presence is perfect joy. Delights are ever in your right hand. V'chol ish yesh shem shenatan lo Elohim v'natnu lo aviv v'imo. Each person has a name. We each have a name given by God and given by our father and mother. We each have a name given by our stature and smile and given by our attire. We each have a name given by the hills and given by the walls. We each have a name given by the stars and given by our friends. We each have a name given by our sins and given by our yearnings. We each have a name given by our enemies and given by love. We each have a name given by celebrations and given by our work. We each have a name given by the seasons and given by our blindness. We each have a name given by the sea and given by our death. And now on page 580, I invite you all to please rise for the silent Yizkor prayer. Fully compassionate God on high, to our loved ones who have entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold them in the embrace of your wings. Secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours. They will rest in peace. Amen. We'll join together on page 583. And please note there is a misprint in the last line. They and we will need to be switched. Please join me. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Amen. We'll remain standing and turn to Elenu on page 586, before then we go together to the mourner's couch.
Eloheinu
page 595. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. There are stars up above so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. And now if I mention the name of a family member or friend on our Yortzeit list, and if you're comfortable doing so, you're invited to rise when you hear his or her name. This allows us to recognize your loss and offer you comfort. And then we will all rise to join you for the mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Tonight, we mark the Yortzeits, the anniversaries of passing for Louis Georges, Gary Koblenz, Susan Cohen Glassberg, David Ernstoff, my grandfather Samuel Gersh, Anna Gottfried, Susanna Hurdy, Violet Levy, Saul LeWitt, Franklin B. Melian, Salfi Meninsky, Samuel Marion, Joan Morse, Lillian Peck, Howard Peterson, Jose Peraza, Hermine Sandberg, Henry Schwamm, Joyce Simon, Vera Schwartz, Louis Sobrino, Esther Sprague Sparks, Elizabeth Sprecher, Tilly Steinberg, Flo Taubman, Bertha Torres, Benjamin Weber, and Daniel Wolf. Zichronam Livracha. We also are mourning all those whose lives were lost in Sri Lanka. Who else is someone that they are remembering tonight whose name they'd like to share aloud?
Bob Zombak, my cousin who just passed away.
Robert Call.
May all the memories of our loved ones always be a precious blessing to those who knew and loved them. Together now we all rise and we join in the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shmei Rabba v'yalma v'yirach yirtei v'yalich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei t'chol Beit Yisrael v'adalav v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olamei Almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Kedusha B'richu Le'elam Yimkol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata V'amiran V'yalma V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shalom Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael Oseh Shalom Yirmav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Amen.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Before we conclude our service, a few announcements. There's some really exciting things coming up over the next week or so. On Sunday at 9:30 a.m., we have Leslie Bouillon coming for a presentation for the adults. And then at 11 o'clock a.m., she has a presentation for our kids in Kivun with the adults. Wait, which is she doing for the adults? Which is she doing for the kids?
The birds for the adults.
So, Superlative Birds is her book that she'll be sharing with adults, and you're invited for her Books and Bagels session at 9:30. And then with the Kivun students, she's going to be doing a book, sharing a book called Leaf Litter Creatures, which sounds really exciting too. So we've got birds and bugs. It's going to be good stuff to look at.
The little viewfinder thing. Yeah, this is interactive as well. It's going to be great.
So that's this Sunday. And at 11 a.m., Brad, do you want to say anything about what you're doing at 11?
We're going to have I'm going to be doing a visual presentation of our capital plan involving our capital campaign. And certainly, I want everyone to come and hear this eventually and know exactly what we're doing and be going into all the details. So if you can make it Sunday 11, that's great. Otherwise, I'll reach you some other time.
Thank you. And thank you for being so willing to share the reasons behind the capital campaign and why it's so important that we all give. So thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you.
And then on Tuesday, April 30th, is the return of Coffee Hour with Rababellos over at Simon's. This past Tuesday, I had jury duty. I wasn't called, thank goodness, but so this Tuesday at 10 a.m., please anyone come join me, come talk, grab a cup of coffee. It would be a pleasure just to be with you very informally. Then on Wednesday night, May 1st at 7 p.m., it's our annual Erev Yom HaShoah observance, our Holocaust Memorial Day observance. This year at Temple Beth Tikva in Madison, we go back and forth. We alternate every other year, whether we host or they host. And this year, it is being held at Temple Beth Tikva, again, 7 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday. And then next Shabbat, we have such a treat. It's our Putnik Scholar in Residence weekend, and we are welcoming Reb Simcha Raphael, whose weekend is titled Judaism and the Mysteries of Life, Death, and the World Beyond. And it's going to be really exciting and provocative and thought-provoking. Friday night, he'll be with us speaking during services. He'll be with us during Scrollers on Saturday morning at 9. Everyone's always invited to Scrollers, but that's an especially exciting time to come. Then on Saturday, later on the 4th, at 11 a.m., we have a brunch and learn, where he'll be talking about Jewish views of the afterlife, particularly from a mystical point of view. And then for Havdalah, Saturday night, I believe we call it for 7 o'clock, he's going to be sharing Jewish ghost stories. So it's going to be really very, very exciting learning going on all weekend. I'm very excited that he'll be with us. If you have any questions, please let us know. Also know Friday night, before our 7:30 service, we have a dairy potluck dinner that we invite you all to bring a dish to share. So that's Friday night at 6:30 is the dairy potluck. 7:30 will be the service where Reb Simcha Raphael will be speaking to us. And any other announcements that I've left out or that anyone else wanted to make sure to share? Oh, please, please.
Just the following Saturday, there will be no learning going on that night, but there will be a lot of laughter and comedy. So we're doing a prize with new comedians, but our comedy night on Saturday, May 11th.
Wonderful, and we can get tickets online, correct?
You can talk to Wendy, you can get them online, you can scalp them.
And give the profits to the temple. So comedy tonight, our big comedy show on Saturday night, May 11th, at what time?
7:30.
At 7:30 p.m. Tickets available online or by calling the main office. Any other?
And it's adults only.
Yeah, adults.
It's adults only. Yes, non-appropriate for children. Finally, thank you to Beth and Jeff Brewer for sponsoring our chametz, our primarily chametz oneg tonight. But for those of you who observe 8 days of Passover, there are a few Passover options. Are
Okay,
you
so,
pointing at people? Oh, you want to explain? Okay.
okay, so you'll see there is Passover on the left, regular stuff on the right, and in the middle it's neutral. It's cheese and grapes.
Okay.
Matzah to the left, crackers to the right.
Okay, thank you. So choose accordingly.
Yes. And you can mix and match. If you so desire, you can have treats from...
No judgment, right?
No judgment, you can whatever. And a thank you to Rhoda, who provided some Passover blondie squares that
Yes,
we have out there. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you.
We close this evening with Lo Yisrael on page 645.
May all of your comings and goings always be filled with shalom, with peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Emily. Yes.